video, we're talking about books that have absolutely crashed that I think are still worth picking up and may have some future potential. I have a spreadsheet that I keep on my computer because all day, every day, I'm in GP analysis and pricing collections from books that I'm buying or putting on the website. And anytime I see a book that has had a significant correction, I mean, even more so than the regular market corrections, I put it on that spreadsheet. And we're up to like over 50 books from that spreadsheet. And every once in a while, I like to pull some from it and make a video about it, but I don't want to just phone it in. You know, we all know that the Riri books crashed. We all know that the ones with, you know, these huge box office flops, the books associated with that crashed. But in this list, I think there's some that are a little bit more nuanced than that. Some of them might have to do with movies, but a lot of them just weird market stuff. And so we'll talk about it here in just a sec. But before we do, it's 2025 Free Comic Book Day here at Bryce Comics. This year I put together a collection of 10 Free Comic Book Day books, something for the kiddos, the Ultimate Universe one, first appearance of a new Ghost Rider and Marvel Voices, first appearance of a new Mutant, and the first appearance of Deadverine and Wolverpool, and Godzilla New Heroes, horror, Star Wars, this guy, Energon Universe from 2024. I accidentally ordered the wrong one. But you can add it to any order, and you get them bagged and boarded in premium bags and boards, coming in a Gemini like that. And there's just an incredible amount of new inventory here at Bryce Comics, and more being added every single day. Oh, look at this Silver Surfer. How about a Silver Surfer number 4? And then I think we even have a ton of Fantastic Four keys that are being listed, several of those, all kinds of good stuff. And every single day there's going to be new stuff, because once this is all listed, that's coming next. So make sure you sign up to the newsletter at BryceComics.com, and you will get first access to new inventory when it arrives. Also, follow me over on Whatnot for $1 starts on Slabs. Tomorrow, if you're watching this the day it comes out, we have a nice show, and I try to go live every single Friday night with, you know, over 100 slabs at $1 starts, tons of giveaways, and good times. I hope to see you over at Whatnot. There's a link down below for $15 towards your first purchase, and follow me over on Instagram for trades for grails and other fresh content over there. Let's hop into this list. So first up, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 569, the first appearance of Anti-Venom, and this book has seen a huge correction. And what I think is so interesting about this is I think this book heated up a lot during COVID just because of the interest in the character. I mean, there is certainly some spec that Anti-Venom could show up in movies, but I don't think that's what was driving it. The people that were after this book that I remember, you know, selling copies to are big time Venom fans, because Anti-Venom is an absolutely awesome character tied to a bunch of other stuff in, you know, the comic books, and will likely make it onto the screen at some point. But if we come over to GP Analysis, this is a website that tracks CGC graded comic sales. We see that the last sale of a 9.8 of the cover A was $140, and the 90-day average was $104. That's the average. That means that there was a lot less than that. People are getting great deals on this for around $100 consistently to make the average 104. And this is one where this is the cover A here. This is actually the newsstand edition. The newsstand edition down in this corner says Amazing Spider-Man instead of direct edition. The newsstand is exceedingly rare, and in my opinion, the book to hunt. It's a toss-up between that and the second print here. The second print is the first cover appearance of Anti-Venom. Also exceedingly rare, super low print, hard to get in high grade, and because of the cover stock is just that cheap Marvel paper. And this is the variant edition of the first print, which is an Adi Granoff cover, which in my opinion is absolutely epic. I love this Adi Granoff cover way more than the cover A, but it's one of those cases where the cover A sells for more. I think it's because it's more recognizable. I mean, there's a ton of Venom covers with cool Venom-looking covers, and I don't think people necessarily realize that's a first print, first appearance of Anti-Venom, but they typically do for the cover A. If you come down and look at the variant edition, the average is $98, with the last sale being $119. But let's talk about the second print, because the second print is the one that's certainly the most coveted. The last sale was $543. I remember selling this book for, I mean, it was selling for $1,300 consistently back during COVID, which I know is during COVID, but it's a book that just doesn't sell all that often. I mean, less than once a month. One sale so far this year, and it was for $5.43. And maybe collectors are thinking, you know what, I'll just keep it for that. But I think at $543, for as rare as it is, featuring the first cover appearance of a character that's beloved by comic book readers and has some spec on the screen, I think you would be silly to not buy this for $550 if you can find it. The thing is, you're not going to find a buy it now for $550. Next, we have Black Adam, The Dark Age #1. Now, this is one that is associated with the movie, but when I saw the price of this, I just thought, man, that it deserves a little bit more love than that. This is the first solo series featuring Black Adam, and I think CGC actually just notates it as Black Adam #1. It leaves out the Dark Age part. But first print cover A's are selling for $30. This is a book that was hitting over $300 at its peak, and it's down to $30. That's over a 90% drop in price for this book. If you can find it for $30 for a CGC 9.8, why not pick it up? It's an iconic character. It's a character that's been around since 1945. He was first introduced in Marvel Family #1, and he didn't get his first solo series until the modern age in 2007. There's a lot of other keys, for Black Adam, but in this video, we're just specifically talking about this one and the variant. This is a situation where the variant is worth more than the cover A. Go figure. It probably has to do with the fact that it's an Alex Ross cover, but for whatever reason, this one is more recognizable than the cover A. So there's a lot of nuance in this hobby. Keeps you on your toes. But the last sale of the variant edition here being $86, down from its peak high of $835, almost 90% down off of its high. And I mean, geez, even if you're not a Black Adam fan, if you're a fan of Alex Ross, this is a great addition to any collection at that price. Next on the list, we have Wizard #1. Now, this is a book that is just baffling what happened here with the numbers, but I think maybe I have the explanation. Cover art by Todd McFarlane, iconic cover, premiere issue of the popular comic magazine that launched in 1991 and was published until 2011, so it went for 20 years. Wizard had a circulation of 100,000 copies shortly after it debuted. This is, just a very important piece of comic book history. If you ever have the chance to get a raw copy, I suggest you do. You can get a raw copy for like $20 to $50 for a reader, and inside is just awesome to see Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee just like in their heyday. And this price guide for comics, it's an iconic piece of comic book history, but the prices is what's got me confused. You see that a 9.8, the most recent sale was in November of last year for $525 just for the regular edition, which is down from $3,750. So, and no recorded sales prior to that. So it's one of those weird things where not a lot of graded copies were selling. I mean, for up until 2022, and the 9.8 selling for $3,750, and then the very next sale, it's right down to the 600s. So I think maybe what happened here is I remember there was a newsstand edition at Heritage. The last sale of a 9.8 newsstand was $1,825, but it's down from the last sale of $18,500. And this was over at Heritage. I remember when it happened, everybody was like, oh my God, it was the first time a publicly recorded sale ever happened of a newsstand 9.8, and it sold for, it was at Comic Connect, sold for $18,500 for this 9.8 newsstand. And I think that is probably what sparked a whole lot of interest in this book. And that's probably what sparked the high price of the regular edition. But nonetheless, this one has nothing to do with movies. It has nothing to do with, speculation or anything. It's just a classic, beloved comic, and it's totally worth adding to your collection just because of the cover art. And if you can find one for that $500 or $600 range for a 9.8, I think it's an awesome addition to your collection. Next on the list, we have Kanto #1. Now, Kanto was optioned right around COVID as well by the studio that was established by Will Smith and his son Jaden Smith. So who knows if anything is ever going to actually come of this, but like all the internet says is that yes, it is optioned, that the screenplay is being written by the actual creators of the story, which is huge for the possible success of the show because it'll stay true to, you know, the original intent, hopefully. And this is one that has seen a massive correction in recent years. I mean, it was peaking for around $1,200. There was damages and production issues with this, so there's not a lot. There's not a lot of 9.8 copies. We come over to the CGC census. We can see that there's only 259 total 9.8s on the census compared to 1,000 total books on the census. So not a huge supply of 9.8s of this out there, which bodes well for it if there is a show and it is produced well. And it is an awesome series. I definitely recommend that you read it if you can find like a trade paperback or something like that. And also for graded copies, the reason this made it onto my list was that the most recent sale of the second print was $21 when it was, you know, peaking up around $280, more than 90% down for that second print, less than the cost of grading on that last sale. I think certainly if you can find a second print for $20 or $30, why not pick it up? Unless you have no interest in this series or this character, but if you're even remotely interested and you see an opportunity to buy one for $30, I think you should do it. So a ton of awesome opportunities right now in the comic book collecting hobby. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Don't forget about those monthly giveaways. If you subscribe, comment, and like this video, you're entered to win a free slab every single month, and I will pick the winners from April in next video. I can't believe we're already in May, and we also have that giveaway at brycecomics.com. If you sign up for the newsletter every single month, you stay subscribed, you're entered to win, and incredible new inventory coming every single day at Bryce Comics. Thanks as always for sticking with me to the end. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.